For the second time in just 6 days, hey everyone from Gov Fuller Field here in Falmouth, and welcome into pregame Tomahawk Talk ahead of the Bravos taking on the Falmouth Commodores. I'm Adam Gotkin alongside Cam Manna and Nathan Schwartz. And Cam, I said it right there, this is the second time in a week that the Bravos are here in Falmouth. Last time it was a successful trip with a victory.
Yeah, well, that game for Bourne, you almost think that Falmouth, in a way, gave the Braves that game. There was that grand slam from Landon Vidrick in the second inning, which was huge for Bourne. But outside of that, once again, the offense stalled late in that game. Falmouth made 5 errors on the defensive side. They had 2 more hits than the Bravos, but Bourne snuck out with the 6-2 victory. Falmouth now hitting the ball a lot better. They're a new team since then. They had a big win last night, so this is not the same Falmouth team. 2-8 right now, 2 teams that desperately need wins here tonight.
And a very familiar pitcher today for the Braves and a guy on the mound in Ben Bybee. We've already seen him pitch twice this season.
Yeah, and he was really effective in that start last Thursday in the tie against Hyannis. He goes 5 innings in what was a great last week for this Bourne starting staff. We just want to see that replication. Another 5-inning start would work wonders for this staff here today.
And this is a really big game for this Bourne team. We said it coming off of the off day, and a team that Bourne already beat this season in Falmouth. This is just a massive game, and it could be a big win for the squad.
Huge game right now for the Braves. You come off that off day, you have a big 4-game stretch coming up, heading into the weekend before Fenway Day, and the Braves right now, there's been flashes. There's been what we can see from this team, the talent, the additions of Ethan Conrad, and the bullpen coming together a little bit. Tough loss for Brewster, but Bourne now has to start stacking these wins. It's not, it's not panic mode time just yet, but Bourne right now, when you get into the month of July, these final few days of June, you have to start stacking some wins. You need to see some consecutive victories for the Braves.
Yeah, the Braves looking for consecutive victories for the first time this season and hoping to do it against the squad that is currently in last place in the division. Well, we'll continue on now here on pregame Tomahawk Talk, getting you ready for the Braves and the Commodores. We continue on now here on pregame Tomahawk Talk. Adam Gotkin joined today by a catcher out of Ohio State, Matthew Graveline. And first off, you're still at Ohio State, a coaching change. Nowadays in baseball, it feels like if there's a coaching change, everyone decides to leave and go somewhere new, but you're deciding to stay. What's the reason behind that?
I'm from Ohio originally, and I just love the state of Ohio, and I've always been a Buckeye growing up, and I just want to stay a Buckeye for my collegiate career. So, and I talked to the head coach, and he's a great guy. I like what he was about. And I'm glad I'm coming back.
And here in Bourne, we've now been about 2 weeks into the season. What's it like in the dugout? You feel like you guys are starting to come together fully as a team?
Yeah, I think so. The guys are great. We're really bonding together. On the off days, we go to the beach and stuff, and I think that translates on the field and just builds a really good chemistry between the pitchers, the catchers, and everyone.
I think being a catcher probably is the hardest thing to do in summer league because you're working with so many new pitchers. What's that like when you're trying to figure out a guy's stuff early on, and how do you try and get acclimated to it?
Yeah, it's challenging for sure, but over the course, we practiced for a week, kind of caught their bullpens, and it was great. I really liked. We have a lot of talented pitchers, and I think just catching them every day, game through game, I think just building that chemistry, and yeah.
You're a pretty fast catcher. It's not too often you see a catcher be thrown into a game as a pinch runner. How important is that to be fully well-rounded?
It's great. I think it really helps, my tools for sure. And I think over the years of catching and throughout the years of playing baseball, I've really made that a focal point on my game. And I really think it translates in the game. And I think it's great that we have fast catchers more and more throughout the game.
And I ask a lot of guys this about the fact they have Coach Saltalamaki in the dugout as a hitting coach, but he was also a major league catcher. How much does that help you all around?
Oh, it's awesome. It's awesome hearing him, what he has to say, just helping me out, catching-wise, hitting-wise. It's great. I love everything he says. So.
All right, well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
We continue on here on pregame Tomahawk Talk. Adam Gotkin alongside Sean Brennan, beat reporter for the Bourne Braves. And Sean, let's dive into this Falmouth team a little bit. A Commodore squad that has struggled a good amount this year, just 2 wins on the season, and where the issues have mainly been are pitching and fielding.
Yeah, well, you said it. When you look at their offense, it's middle of the pack in most statistical categories in the league, but then you look at their pitching. They're last in the league in ERA, they're last in the league in WHIP, and they've given up the most home runs. And it's funny because we talk about the long ball dooming the Braves. They're actually tied with 10 home runs. That's the most in the league. So it also doesn't help that Falmouth's pitchers aren't getting the best defense behind them. 18 errors for the Commodores in 10 games. That's not going to cut it. So it's really been a rough start to the season on the defensive side of the ball.
And today they're going to hope to turn that around, but they go to a young pitcher out of Georgia Tech who had some struggles in his true freshman season.
Yeah, Tate McKee, like you said, coming off his true freshman season. And the thing that sticks out about him, we talked about Falmouth's struggles with the long ball a second ago. He has given up 2 home runs in 4 2/3 innings over 2 appearances. So, hasn't been a great start to the season. He pitched 4 days ago out of the bullpen, but he's going to have to lock in today. And we talked about how Landon Vitterick, last time here, hit a grand slam to really put this game out of reach in the second inning. He's going to look to do that again, and I think this is really opportunistic for Bourne to pick up another much-needed win.
And continuing on here with Falmouth, you said it, their offense has not had that many issues this season. They've got a couple guys coming in who could really help it out and make this offense potentially the best in the league.
Yeah, well, 2 guys out of Oregon State. Trent Caraway played in his first game yesterday, and boy, did he start it off with a bang. A 2-run shot in the first inning. He was very solid at Oregon State. And then Gavin Turley, a guy who was really valuable for Oregon State, had over 1,000 OPS, hit just under 300, and he had 74 RBI, the most on the team. That's more than some guy named Travis Bazzana. I'm not sure if you've heard of him, but that's pretty impressive.
Travis Bazzana, a former Falmouth Commodore, most likely going to be the #1 overall pick in the MLB draft, which is in just a couple weeks. Well, thank you all so much for tuning in to this edition of Pregame Tomahawk Talk. First pitch coming up in just a little bit at 6 p.m.